Hey, this is Richard. Welcome back to another episode from Life for Living Wow. This particular episode is probably going to be the continuation of last week. I did mention during that podcast that I'm going to suggest how we can develop our own personal trait in become a focused person if we are not already, but I did not find the time to do that during that particular podcast because of time that required to cover everything. But I'm going to use this week to quickly go through the point and what we can do to, or how we can develop that trait in ourselves, and what are the tools or methods that we can follow that can help us to develop this particular uh, trait in ourselves as well. So last week I gave us 15 traits that you can look out for focus person, and if we don't have all of that, don't be don't be disheartening and don't worry. It's something that we can develop easily, and that's why I'm using this platform to share it with us. Firstly, hope that everyone is all right, and I hope that what's been going on in our world at the moment has not been uh, extremely disruptive to your personal life or people that you know. But I hope that those who are ill at the moment, they may be able to recover soon. I hope so. Let's get started. So I gave us 15 traits that people that are very focused shows in their day-to-day or in their own interaction. But this particular podcast, I just wanted to mention tools or approach that we can take ourselves to develop this in ourselves. Number one, I mentioned that people that are very self-focused, they don't engage in small talk. Why they don't engage in small talk? Because they allow their mind to ask questions. So if you are the kind of person that you easily open-minded and you trust people easily, you probably don't have a little bit skepticism about you. But this is not about skepticism, this is about being curious. So a focused person, they're actually very curious, and these are the gifts that you do not need to go to school. Every human being was born with it. But one way or the other, our background, our family, our environment, our culture, our education did not allow this particular trait to develop into a higher function in us. So, but people that focus for some reason, they have this curiosity about them. They question everything. So, number one, tools that you can use to becoming more bigger picture person or someone that doesn't really over depend on small talk is to engage in go deeper beyond the surface level of every conversation. Why people do what they do, they might not know themselves, but if you throw this question to them, you might give them the opportunity to actually think why they're doing it. Some people might think they just like it, but you wanted to know what's beyond that likeness. And to yourself, so you begin to ask questions. What I'm going to say that develop the habit of question everything. Don't just accept or believe everything you see or everything you hear. Question it. Not in a rebellious way, but in a more open and unclose-minded way by questioning everything. So uh, I think it's Socrates that says that uh, I don't actually remember how he put the word, but uninvolved mind is not unexamined life is not worth living. So it's about question everything. So and this is what the focused people have in abundance about them. Number two, we talk about they do one thing at a time. So these people, well, yes, they get a lot of things done, but they are not the people that do a lot of things at one time. So they prioritize things. Today in the business world, business analysis world, you call this kind of thing SWOT analysis, where you define things into four quadrants, and you have area where you have a strength, you have the area where you look for opportunity, and then you have the area where you have a weakness, and you have the area where you look out for threats. But in this case, they actually just follow a simple Japanese models of Al-Qaeda. So you have something called high, you have something called medium, you have something called low. So you do all your project into, you put all the list of the things that you want to get done in a day, sometimes in a week or in a month, but preferably you take one day at a time. So in a day, you focus not on the goals. These people don't focus on, they focus on the process. So, and to do that, you put the list of things that you wanted to do, and then you look at those lists, that which of those 5 things that must done today. So then you put each number into the list of things that you want to do. So let's say you want to clean your flat. Maybe it's a priority number 3 in your list of what you want to do on that weekend. Maybe on that the same Saturday you want to go through all your bills, and you know that if you don't do that or you don't do it right, you might be paying money for something that you should have canceled, and then you put in number 1. So someone that very focused don't abandon that and just go and clean the flats. So they start with number 1, and they get done all the number 1 on their list one by one, and then they move to number 2, and then they move to number 3. So I hope that is clear. Number 3, they don't postpone things, that decision or action. So this is where they do their life. So even when they don't have motivation to do things, even when they feel like after work it's been a long day, the best time is to go home and just watch TV instead of going to the yoga class after work or go to the gym. So these people, for some reason, they find internal motivation by using affirmation. So try to find affirmation that make you be proud of yourself. Something like you say, oh Josh, if you just do this in an hour's time, you'll be very proud of yourself. So simple things like this, it actually make a massive difference from them. They have the same challenge you and I have, but what set them aside is because they have little rituals and pattern habits that keep them going with each of the motivation that they have. So like I said, they don't postpone decision or action. If something needs to be done today, they will do it. And this is how I find that when I ask someone that, how do you manage to put yourself together? You left the office 6 o'clock and then you went to the yoga class, and she said to me, wow, if I go home, it's going to be difficult for me to go. So what I did is to bring my clothes from home in the morning, and then when I'm really, really mentally don't want to do it, I will say to myself, if I just do this in an hour's time, I'll be so proud of myself. So find that your own positive affirmation that you can use that can motivate you to do what is right, not being right. Where I am, number 4. So they have mature emotional regulation. So they take feedback really well. So what make it easier for them is, in their mind, they don't look out that people are there always to bring them down. So they take all the information that they get back. They don't believe everything. They take what the feedback they get. They wanted to see how it can make their life better, or it can improve them. So they're open to feedback. That's what I'm trying to say. So how do you do that? Is a little bit do things that we allow people to exercise their own opinion or view about your action without taking it personally. It's tough, but it's something that you have to take a little big steps. And if you're going to do great things or do better things, there will be more people that will give you a negative feedback. Some of the feedback could be a projection about themselves to you, but some of the feedback and criticism could actually help you if you take it as an opportunity and then you improve yourself. So number 5. So let's say number 5, they don't take things personal. I think it's similar to number 4. So if you follow the same method, how you do that, mostly we suggest that try to start doing meditation, something that make you in touch with yourself, so you're not always in your head most of the time, so that when the people give you a negative feedback, thing that you consider as negative, but when you take a step back and you don't let your emotion cloud the message, you might actually see that the feedback you get is actually for you to do something or change something. But it's difficult when you are attached to your own identity or how you see yourself. And when somebody contradicting how you see yourself, the first thing that you will do is to be defensive. And when you do that, you miss the opportunity to actually see whether there's a point in this kind of feedback that you're getting. Because the only place we improve as a person, we don't improve by staying in our own house, reading our own book, is having a relationship with another person. Number 6, they keep small and able group. So these people, they don't believe in quantity, they believe in quality. And there is a common word say, it's not how many people you know, it's who you know. And Abraham Lincoln put it better when he said that the quality of a person is not the length of the time, but the quality of the time. So these people, they go for the quality. They are not calculative people, but you can say they are calculative, but not in a way of exploiting the other people. They might look like being a particular part of the group, how that group is going to affect their current trajectory of their own life, what this group contributing to their life. And if it's not much where they want to be, they are quite happy to walk alone. And most people can't do this. Most people would like to be part of a group, and they also don't really know themselves. They know themselves through the group, but these people fully know who they are. So they choose their friends, so they maintain a small group of people, but these people, they are very loyal to them, and they are very giving themselves to it. And Aristotle once defined a friendship that you have 3 types of friends: friends that based on image, friends that based on service, and the last one I believe is a friend that based on virtues. So these people chose friends based on the trait those friends have in their own life, and that's why I say that to do that you have to develop some quality in yourself. To be able to make a friend with this kind of people, you have to have your own virtues. You have to work and develop the habits that or trait that are virtues in your own life. So because these people make a close friends, they know a lot of people, but they only have a few selected close friends. And those friends, they have admirable qualities and traits about them. And that's why they are close inside friends. And number 7, they avoid toxic people. So another thing I've noticed about focused people is that there's no way you will go in this world that you will not come across a toxic person, either in a family relationship or in a romantic relationship or even at work or in a peer groups or social groups. But how do you know? Because they don't write it in front of their head, and most people don't tell you that I am very damaged or I'm very toxic. So you already take them in and they already get involved in you before they start showing you that part of them. But what was set aside the focus person is because as much as they focus, they are very, very intuitive as well. And every human being is intuitive. So what I mean is that they know without knowing, they know without explaining, and that is intuition. So they make their decisions sometimes based on their intuition about somebody, or the energy of that energy that the person was projecting to them. And because of that, they easily create a boundary quickly when they find a energy vampire in their life or in their cycle, and they don't drag themselves into that environment so easy. And that takes me to number 9. They are very diligent. So these people are the people that, if you want somebody to trust with money or things, you need a focused person, because they are very diligent the way they do things. They make sure that things are in its place. They're very structured. They're very conscientious about their thing. And how do they do that? Is to discipline yourself and make sure that you don't pay or you don't spend more than what you earn. And also, you hold yourself the same accountable that you hold other people. Most people blame other people for their problem. They don't hold themselves accountable for how they hold other people. So with a focused person, the tools that they use to make them diligent is to be a little bit more practical about their approach. If they wanted to buy something and they need to save certain amount of money, they start working on that and put that money aside. And if they need to lose the weight, they also know what they have to do to lose the weight, and they focus on it. And if they needed to change the direction of travel, they also want to get more information how to do it, or they need the help, they will contact the right people to help them to make it happen. That takes me to number 10. They don't get involved in other business. So again, that's similar to number 1, because they don't like a small talk, and it's because they are so much in their own life to be getting themselves into other people's business. So, and they are not the people that you share a personal life story with and you expect them to reveal it to everyone. Number 12, they have very strong boundary. So this similar to number 7, I believe, that they avoid toxic people because of their boundary. Is always a number of certain time before they, yes, because they set the boundary easily for themselves, because of their past, because of their disappointment, because of their hurt, they've learned from it, and they decided to have a boundary with themselves and boundary with other people. If you're kind of person that you like to go to bed 9 o'clock, you won't expect, or at least you will tell people that are very close to you that, sorry, I won't pick up your call at night, I will return your call back next day. But these people are not the people that will call you 10 o'clock if they don't like you to call them after 9 o'clock. So they set the boundary for themselves and other people. So how do they do that? Firstly, you have to develop a relationship with yourself first, which unfortunately a lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people don't want to do that. They want to have a relationship with other people first before they have a relationship with themselves. And once you're able to understand yourself certain way, know what you like, what you don't like, and you won't know everything you like at one point, because every relationship you have will be different, and each person come to your life will teach you something that you like or something that you don't like, and that add to your own database to be able to have idea what kind of thing that you truly like. But they have done some work which is come from their inside that allow them to know who they are. And this is the thing that you yourself can try. You can practice stillness to be able to observe the thoughts, how you speak to yourself when no one is there, what kind of language you use to yourself. How do you surprise when somebody else use the same language to you? So these are the things that I observe that focused person put into practice in their own life. Okay, that takes me to number 13. They are a good friend. So I don't need to say more with all the things that I've said, because they don't tend to have load of people in their circle of friends. They are people that keep small group of people, so that really gives them a lot of energy and focus to their friend. They are loyal, they are straightforward, and they love the people in their own life. So again, here it's easy to see how they are like this. To be like this, you need to develop your own virtues. So let's say you are a courageous person. You are not just going to be love somebody that's lovable. You are also able to love somebody that's unlovable, because you are a courageous person. And when you are a good nice person, when you are a good person, you're not only good to people that are good to you, you're also good to people that are not good to you, because you have a trait called goodness. So this is what I mean by the virtue that they have is what the people in their life actually like a lot about them, including their friends, including their family, including their partner, including their colleagues at work. 14, they know when to end a project or relationship. Again, these people don't let their ego attach to the outcome. Like I said, they are process driven people, they are not goal oriented people. But they get everything done, because for them, personal development is key for them. So they are not the person that just tick or check the box that this is done. The process must come first before the goal. And then the goal actually manifests himself, because they follow the process, and that process lead them to go and even lead them to higher goal than the one they have on the list. And that take me to the last part. They are habit creator. All of us have habits, and one thing I've observed about these people is they have creating a lot of positive habits in their life that counterbalance the negative habit that they have. So sometimes people don't tend to notice that negative habit anymore, but it's there. But because they counterbalance it by have multiple positive habits, it trivial over the negative one that they have. Some of this habit is something that we develop from the childhood, but these people, they know that once they decide to choose one habit, they're patient enough to say it through at least for 12 weeks before, and after then it become like natural to them. So these are the tools that I wanted to share with us that I was unable to share last week because of the time. I hope that this particular podcast helps someone. 15 traits of focus person part 2. So this is more to show you how to develop the same trait in yourself. I hope this particular podcast helps someone. If you do have any question, you can find out more information on our website at www.lifeforlivingwell.info, or you can send me email at info@lifeforlivingwell.info. Once again, my name is Richard. I hope you have an amazing week. Thank you.